Yeah. So the Vedas mainly deal with the three modes of the material nature, and Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna to become transcendental to the three modes. Be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. तो जब तक हम एक तीन गुणों में बंधे रहेंगे तब तक एंजाइटी हमेशा लगी रहेगी, राइट? We always have an anxiety, if whenever we are doing something, we have an anxiety whether I will get the result or not. और वो रिजल्ट मिलने के बाद भी when we get the result, वो उसको मेंटेन करने का भी एंजाइटी, वो कहीं हम खो न दे उसका एंजाइटी, राइट? तो वी आर ऑलवेज इन एंजाइटी विद इन द थ्री मोड्स ऑफ मटेरियल नेचर. जब तक हम ये तीन गुणों से बंधे रहेंगे, सत्वगुण, तमोगुण, रजोगुण, तब तक एंजाइटी फॉर गेन एंड सेफ्टी विल ऑलवेज बी देयर. So Krishna is telling Arjun, you have to rise above the three modes and be established in the self. So the same instruction is for all of us, that we should try to rise above the three modes. Then only we can be equipoised. जैसे हम बोलते हैं ना, कैसे हम स्थिर रहे हमेशा, कैसे कोई हमें एजिटेट करे तो हम कैसे अपने गुस्से को कंट्रोल करें, या एजिटेट ना हो, या सिचुएशन को कैसे हैंडल करें. तो ये तब होगा जब हम वी कीप प्रैक्टिसिंग ऑन अवर सेल्फ टू राइज अबव द थ्री मोड्स. क्योंकि जब तक हम ये तीन गुणों से हम खुद भी बंधे हुए हैं, तब तक वी विल गेट अफेक्टेड बाय whatever is happening around us. Because as long as we are affected by Sattvagun, Tamogun, Rajogun, the reaction will be there. Action and reaction will be there. And that is the cause of bondage in the material world. Okay, जो action और reaction होता है within the three modes, वही हमारे bondage का कारण है. और जो वेदास है, in general जो Vedic scriptures है, other than Srimad Bhagavatam, all other Vedic literatures, they are within the three modes of material nature. और वो कर्म कांड से related ही है. Only when somebody has, somebody is done with the karma kand, basically कर्म कांड से जब कोई ऊपर उठता है, तब जाके they approach the Upanishads. Upanishads are those section of the Vedas which bring us closer to the Supreme Lord. And Bhagwadgita is one of that Upanishad. Bhagwadgita को गीतोपनिषद कहते हैं. So Upanishads are transcendental. वैसे ही श्रीमद् भागवतम is Amal Puran. It is also transcendental literature because it talks about the Supreme Lord. So as long as the material body exists, there are actions and reactions in the material modes. One has to learn tolerance in the face of duality such as happiness and distress. Cold and warmth. Cold and warmth, and by tolerating such dualities, become free from anxieties regarding pain and loss, gain and loss. This transcendental position is achieved in full Krishna consciousness when one is fully dependent on the goodwill of Krishna. तो जब तक हमारा मटेरियल बॉडी एग्जिस्ट करेगा, तब तक एक्शन रिएक्शन रहेगा मटेरियल मोड में. We will keep doing some action. Either we will act in the mode of goodness or passion or ignorance, and we will get a reaction to it. So basically now when we have started practicing Krishna consciousness, our goal is first to rise in the mode of goodness. पहले तो अपने आप को mode of goodness में हमें rise करना है. तो हम जैसे we start molding our life accordingly. Right? We stop eating. I mean, जो 4 regulative principles है वो follow करते हैं हम. तो ये 4 regulative principles follow करने का एक aim ये भी है कि हम सत्व गुण में ऊपर उठें. Okay, then we start chanting 16 rounds. We start getting up early in the morning. We start sleeping early. We start moderating our diet also, right? Because if we, so basically so many changes we do in our life. We stop doing all things that we used to do previously, like spending too much time on social media or so many things like which we might be doing previously, but we cut it down gradually as we take to Krishna consciousness. तो ये सब करने से हम सत्व गुण में ऊपर उठते हैं, हमारा डाइट चेंज हो जाता है, etc. And then finally we also have to rise above this mode of goodness also, right? और तब तक, and it is a journey. This entire process is a journey. ये कोई एक दिन में नहीं बदलेगा. Like just in one day, we cannot be in the mode of goodness. It is a gradual process because that tinge of tamogun and rajogun will be there in us. जिसके वजह से कभी हम इरिटेट हो जाएंगे, कभी हम हमें गुस्सा आ जाएगा, कभी हम किसी को टॉलरेट नहीं कर पाएंगे. So because those tinges are still there, mode of passion and ignorance, and all we have to do is keep on seeing, okay, where is there, where I have to change myself now. कहाँ पे गलती हो रही है, कहाँ पे मुझे चेंज करना है, कैसे मैं और सत्वगुण में ऊपर उठ सकती हूँ. So this is the whole, this is lifetime practice that we have to do. And till that time, we have to practice tolerance in face of duality, such as happiness and distress, cold or warmth. And by tolerating such dualities, become free from the anxieties regarding gain and loss. So basically, जब तक हम इस material world में हैं और इस material body में हैं, and as long as we are practicing devotees, we have to practice tolerance, because there's so many things. The environment को हमें tolerate करना पड़ता है, heat and cold को, basically dualities है ना ये material world में. कभी सुख आएगा, कभी दुख आएगा, वो भी tolerate करना पड़ेगा. कभी अच्छा होगा, कभी बुरा होगा, वो भी टॉलरेट करना पड़ेगा. कभी कोई हमसे अच्छे से बात करेगा, कभी कोई हमें हर्ट करेगा, वो भी टॉलरेट करना होगा हमें. So we have to learn tolerance if we want to live in this material world peacefully. So this transcendental position is achieved in full Krishna consciousness when one is fully dependent on the good will of Krishna. और ये tolerance कब हम practice कर पाएंगे? Only and only when we are completely dependent on Krishna. So the whole process is to practice tolerance, but in order to practice tolerance, we have to become more and more dependent on Krishna. Then only we can practice tolerance in all situations. So anybody has any question regarding this verse? So basically in this verse, Lord Krishna is telling Arjun to rise above the karma kand, और खाली trying to make our situation better in this material world, उससे हमें ऊपर उठना है. और उससे ऊपर उठना मतलब 3 गुणों से ऊपर उठना है, और 3 गुणों से ऊपर उठ के पहले हमें सत्व गुण में आना है. और ये जब हम कर रहे हैं तो we have to practice tolerance all our in the entire journey. We have to practice tolerance. We have to tolerate our own mind. We have to tolerate our own demands. Sensory demands, we have to tolerate other people, we have to tolerate so many things. So वो tolerance हमें practice करना है. By practicing that, we can rise above the in the transcendental position. And this tolerance can happen only if we are attached to Krishna, and we know that whatever will happen is by Krishna's will, and accepting Lord Krishna's will. जब ये complete होगा, surrender हमारा complete होगा, then only we will be able to practice tolerance at all. In all situations. Okay, we go to the next verse. If anyone has any question regarding this verse, you can ask me now, or else we'll go ahead. Okay. 2.46. Leena Mataji, आपको read करना है ये verse?
Yeah. Okay, Mataji.
यावानर्थ उदपाने.
यावानर्थ उदापाने.
सर्वतः संप्लुतोदके.
सर्वतः संप्लुतोदके.
तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु.
तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु.
ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः.
ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः. Yavan, all that is meant udapane in a well of water, sarvataha in all respects, sampluta udake in the great reservoir of water, tavan similarly, sarveshu in all, vedeshu Vedic literatures, brahmanasya of the man who knows the supreme Brahman, vijanataha who is in complete knowledge. Translation: all purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. Purport: the rituals and sacrifices mentioned in the Karma Kanda's division of the Vedic literature are meant to encourage gradual development of self-realization. And the purpose of self-realization is clearly stated in the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, 15.1, 15.15. The purpose of studying the Vedas is to know Lord Krishna, the primeval cause of everything. So self-realization means understanding Krishna and one's eternal relationship with him. The relationship of the living entities with Krishna is also mentioned in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 15.7. The living entities are parts and parcels of Krishna. Therefore, revival of Krishna consciousness by the individual living entity is the highest perfectional stage of Vedic knowledge. This is confirmed in the Srimad Bhagavatam 3.33.7 as follows. Aho vata swa pachoto kariyar yaj jivagre vartate nama tutyam tepas tapas te juhu sasnur arya brahmana nuchur nama prananti yete. O my Lord, a person who is chanting your holy name, although born of a low family like that of a Chandala dog eater, is situated on the highest platform of self-realization. Such a person must have performed all the kinds of penances and sacrifices according to Vedic rituals and studied the Vedic literatures many, many times after taking his bath in all the holy places of pilgrimage. Such a person is considered to be the best of the Aryan family.
Okay, we'll stop here 1 minute. Huh? Yeah, so this verse is telling us that basically there's so many Vedic literatures. कितने सारे पुराण हैं, शिव पुराण, so many, like, और कौन से पुराण हैं, if you know the name, Varaha Puran, Vishnu Puran. Yeah, so many Puranas are there, so many Vedic literatures are there. So sorry. और कई सारे वैदिक लिटरेचर में बहुत सारे रिचुअल्स बताए गए हैं, राइट? सो मेनी रिचुअल्स हैव बीन गिवन, और deity worship का रिचुअल्स दिया गया है. So the purpose of all these is that so that we can grow gradually to self-realization. And what is that self-realization? Self-realization meaning understanding Krishna and one's relationship with him. तो basically हर एक वैदिक लिटरेचर का भी पर्पस यही है कि इवेंचुअली लोग धीरे धीरे ऊपर उठकर भगवान कृष्ण को समझ पाए. So Krishna consciousness is the highest thing. Once we understand that we are part and parcel of Krishna and servants of Krishna, and serving Krishna is the goal of my life. If I understand this, then I need not go through any other Vedic literatures जिसमें कर्म कांड के बारे में दिया गया है या कोई रिचुअल्स है. वो सब करने का जरूरत नहीं, क्योंकि वो सब करने का पर्पस यही है कि धीरे धीरे इंसान जो है कृष्ण की ओर आगे बढ़े. Is it okay with everyone? The purpose of the Vedic rituals is to know Krishna. And if you directly know Krishna, if you have come to know that you are part and parcel of Krishna and serving Krishna is a duty, then we need not go through all those rituals. हमें वो rituals करने की जरूरत नहीं. Okay? So it is mentioned here, "O my Lord, a person who is chanting your holy name, although born of a low family like that of a Chandal, is situated on the highest platform of self-realization." Okay, so normally according to rituals के हिसाब से अगर हम देखें, वर्णाश्रम धर्म के हिसाब से देखें, तो only the Brahmanas can understand the Supreme Lord according to the Varnashram dharma, right? Because Brahmanas can read the scriptures, they can understand. They can understand, and so the Brahmanas are the ones who read the Vedic literatures. So what will happen of those who are in the lower rung of the Varnashram system, like the Shudras or the Chandals? फिर क्या उनको, मतलब that means they will have to take so many births in order to attain a birth in the Brahmana family and then understand the highest purpose of life. But suppose if somebody is in Chandal, even if he is born as a Chandal, but if he comes to know about Krishna and he starts chanting the holy name of Krishna, that means he has attained the highest perfection, highest platform of self-realization. So such a person must have performed all kinds of penances and sacrifices according to Vedic rituals and studied the Vedic literatures many, many times after taking his bath in all the holy places of pilgrimage. तो अगर बेसिकली भगवान के नाम का जप करना, उसका महिमा बताया गया है कि if you are chanting the holy name of the Lord, it is so great, it has such high value and significance that only those people can chant the holy name who have performed all kinds of penances and sacrifices. मतलब basically that means one who is chanting the holy name is need not any longer perform any kind of penances or sacrifices according to rituals, Vedic rituals. Okay, और उन लोगों ने सारे पवित्र places पे they have gone, they have already gone, they have taken baths, they have got the benediction and blessings of all the great places and pilgrimage places and sages. So such a person is considered to be the best of the Aryan family. So basically, chanting of the holy name has a great significance.
Mataji, Hare Krishna, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Mataji, actually the Brahmins are, it is their duty to explain the scriptures and everything to the lower category people, Shudras and Chandals.
Yeah.
So if Shudras and Chandals are not aware of the Vedic literature, then it is Brahman failing in his duty, no?
Failing in his duty as in today's time, of course, there are no Brahmanas left who are doing their duty. In Kali Yuga, वही तो situation
these
हुआ
are,
है ना?
okay, I thought this is about that time that they are seeing how. Okay.
नहीं, this see, Varnashram Dharma is there since the beginning. Now in Kali Yuga, the system gets disrupted because Brahmanas ही जो है वो disrupt हो जाते हैं, corrupt हो जाते हैं. So they are not doing the duty, और इसीलिए दूसरे ना ही वो लोग ही खुद अच्छे से practice कर रहे हैं, ना ही वो लोग ये knowledge दे रहे हैं किसी को.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
But if one directly chants the holy name of the Lord, then he is to be considered that he has read all the scriptures and he has done everything. Then he did not go to the rituals, Vedic rituals and other things. That is not necessary. Okay, Leena Mataji, we can read further.
So one must be intelligent enough to understand the purpose of the Vedas without being attached to the rituals only, and must not desire to be elevated to the heavenly kingdoms for a better quality of sense gratification. It is not possible for the common man in this age to follow all the rules and regulations of the Vedic rituals, nor is it possible to study all of the Vedanta and Upanishads thoroughly. It requires much time, energy, knowledge, and resources to execute the purposes of the Vedas. This is hardly possible in this age. The best purpose of Vedic culture is served, however, by chanting the holy name of the Lord, as recommended by Lord Chaitanya, the deliverer of all fallen souls. When Lord Chaitanya was asked by a great Vedic scholar, Prakashananda Saraswati, why he, the Lord, was chanting the holy name of the Lord like a sentimentalist instead of studying Vedanta philosophy, the Lord replied that his spiritual master had found him to be a great fool and thus asked him to chant the holy name of the Lord. He's so humble. He did so and became ecstatic like a madman. In this age of Kali, most of the population is foolish and not adequately educated to understand Vedanta philosophy. The best purpose of Vedanta philosophy is served by offensively chanting the holy name of the Lord. Vedanta is the last word in the Vedic wisdom, and the author and the knower of the Vedanta philosophy is Lord Krishna. And the highest Vedantist is the great soul who takes pleasure in chanting the holy name of the Lord. That is the ultimate purpose of all Vedic mysticism.
Yeah,
Everything is given, Mataji. एक ही इसमें बता दिया, खाली नाम लो.
Yeah,
बस और कोई करने को कुछ जरूरत नहीं है. No need to become a intelligent and a ज्ञानी. बस इतना ही करो. Nicely done. वो बहुत अच्छा लिखा है.
And it takes so much humility to accept this.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Normally we think जब तक हम सब कुछ पढ़ नहीं लेंगे, जब तक हम अपने आप से बहुत तपस्या नहीं करेंगे, how can we realize God? But yes, just simply by chanting the holy name is the biggest thing, because this is the essence. अगर किसी ने सारे वेदों को, सारे उपनिषद को पढ़ लिया है, eventually he should come to the conclusion that he should be able to chant and relish the chanting of the holy name. So if so it is very simple. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is just giving us the essence. No, just take the holy name and chant the holy name. He does
No,
not ask us to.
No, and Mataji, in today's world also, even if we try, every kind of interpretation is readily available. Everybody, like today, even if you tell me something, I'll have my own interpretation.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that, वो ज़माने का वो नहीं है कि सतयुग का where, there was a proper parampara of transferring information or knowledge.
Right.
अभी नहीं है. There are hundreds of books available. Everybody is making their own.
Yes. Best is to chant the name of the Lord. Yeah, even when there's an example given here, pastime of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had gone to Banaras, he met with Prakashananda Saraswati, who was a great Vedic scholar at that time. He was also a sannyasi, and he saw that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also a sannyasi. लेकिन चैतन्य महाप्रभु जो है भगवान हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र का जप कर रहे, डांस कर रहे, कीर्तन कर रहे. And this great person, he has so much of false ego that I am a sannyasi and I am great. I am a great Jnani and I have so much knowledge. So he told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that you are a sannyasi. Why are you acting like a sentimentalist? You should act like a, जैसे वो एक अहम रहता है ना कि I am a sannyasi and I have knowledge. वैसा तुम्हें रहना चाहिए. So he says, look, my spiritual master told me like I am a fool. I cannot understand Vedanta. So he just told me you chant the holy name. And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is, by his own example, he's telling us that this is the essence of all the Vedic literatures, to chant the holy name of the Lord. And in order to chant the holy name, we need humility. Then only we can chant. So third verse of Shikshastakam, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. No, not that. Rinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. Who can chant the holy name always? One.
Mataji, your voice. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Mataji has left it as come.
I think she got disconnected.
Hare Krishna. You can hear me now?
Yeah. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. So the essence of today's verses which we did was basically there are so many Vedic literatures, or most of the Vedic literatures are within the three modes of the material nature. But there are few Vedic literature like Bhagwadgita, which comes in Upanishad, and Srimad Bhagavatam, which are transcendental, which brings us closer to the Supreme Lord, which gives us a knowledge about the Supreme Lord. So Krishna himself is telling Arjuna that we have to rise above the Vedic rituals and the three modes. We have to rise above the three modes. And in order to do that, one second. Yeah, so Lord Krishna tells that. Yeah, so Lord Krishna tells Arjuna to rise above the three modes and the Vedic rituals. And the essence of all the Vedic literature is eventually to come to a conclusion or to understand Krishna and our relationship with Krishna. So basically, Krishna consciousness is the goal of all Vedic literatures. और अगर हम कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस को फॉलो कर रहे हैं, दैट मीन्स वी डिड नॉट वरी अबाउट whether we have read other literatures or not, whether we are following other Vedic rituals or not. We did not worry about that, because वो सारे rituals इसीलिए है कि हम धीरे धीरे भगवान कृष्ण की ओर आए. तो अगर आप डायरेक्टली भगवान कृष्ण का नाम ले रहे हो, भगवत गीता पढ़ रहे हो, भागवतम पढ़ रहे हो, then you have actually served all the purposes of reading other Vedic literatures. And then we understood the chanting of the holy name is so great, is so auspicious, and it is the essence of all the Vedic literatures, reading all the literatures. Because being a ज्ञानी, basically who reads all the literatures are ज्ञानी. तो एक ज्ञानी भी अगर कई जन्मों के बाद, after many thousands of years and births, he will understand that Krishna is the supreme and I will surrender to Krishna, and then he will start chanting the holy name. So in general, it takes many lifetimes, many births to chant the holy name of Krishna. So we need to understand how fortunate we are that in this one lifetime, we don't know whether we have even attempted to read other scriptures or not in our previous lifetimes or even in this lifetime. We don't know. But then by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and all the great devotees and Vaishnavas, somehow we have started chanting the holy name, which is the essence of everything, all the literatures, Vedic literatures. And then we understood that in order to chant the holy name, 3 things are needed: humility, tolerance, and no expectations from others. Then we can chant the holy name always. So any question? Anyone has any question?
No, Mataji.
How about Sonali Mataji, Jaya Mataji, Sita Lakshmi Mataji, Shilpa Mataji?
Done. Everything okay.
No, Mataji.
Yeah.
Sonali, you have any question?
I think she's in the train. She was traveling.
Acha, okay. So if you have any question in your personal practice also, you can ask now then.